Hi everyone, I'm Larry Walsh.
I'm Amy Henderson.
And this is Channelnomics in the Margins, and we're in Oceanside, California, where we're wrapping up the Global Technology Distribution Council's annual North America Summit. Amy and I have spent the last couple of days here presenting to and meeting with vendor and channel executives from across the continent. Of course, because it's GTDC, we're talking about all things distribution. In fact, we presented the annual financial workshop where we talked with vendors about the value and the economics of distribution, which we did learn a lot at as well. Right, Amy?
Yeah, and the economy next to AI is pretty much on top of mind for everybody right now. And I think that what most of these CFOs, and we had CFOs from the top distributors out there, Arrow, D&H, Ingram, TD SYNNEX, and they're all thinking about how are we going to formulate our strategies given how partners and vendors are feeling given the current economic climate. So a lot of their decisions are being navigated through what's going on. So it's just interesting to see how they're refining their programs around that.
Yeah, and I think that was the undertone of this event.
Yep.
I mean, so they did have an economist here who talked about what's happening in Washington that is causing a lot of the economic uncertainty because of all the cuts that are being made by DOGE and the ramifications that come from that. The Conference Board, which is an economic think tank, has already started projecting that the U.S. economy is going to slow in 25 and going into 26 and further because of a lot of these changes. I will tell you though is that in the Channelnomics annual channel forecast, we did ask partners what they thought about all this. And so in January, as the Trump administration was coming into power, partners across the U.S. were actually pretty optimistic. 54% of them thought that Trump and his policies were going to be good for them and their businesses. Surprisingly, partners in Europe felt the same.
Yeah.
But that's before we saw everything, and now we're beginning to see, with a lot of these changes and these policies coming into effect, people are starting to get a little nervous, Amy.
Yeah, and when you look at partner confidence in terms of their confidence to reinvest in their business, their confidence to hire, the confidence to partner with more vendors, whether that's value-added distributors, vendor partners, what that means in terms of the actual individual policies that they need to start having conversations with their partners earlier about the domino effect of the end results of, for example, tariffs. How is that going to affect cost of goods sold, shipment policies, given parts that need to come over from Canada or from China, from Mexico, and how that affects the overall cost of doing business.
Yeah, and I think of what I hate to be one of those people who says, like, we have to sit back and wait and see what happens. We do know that there's going to be downward pressure, but we actually just don't know whether there's going to be positive or negatives. And what we do know, though, is, and this is actually pretty clear from our conversations with many of the vendors here, is that we do know it's not going to be equitable. There are going to be winners and there's going to be losers, and it's all going to be contingent on basically on categories. If you're in one category of technology, hardware is probably going to be impacted more than software is going to be impacted. But again, we're going to have to just wait and see and monitor how things unfold over the next few months, and it's going to be that fast. It's going to be over the next couple of months, not next couple of years.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of the financial forum, which you mentioned earlier, how does this affect financial institutions who fund the contracts that are between, let's say, distributors and vendors? We had a conversation with a financial entity yesterday about the long-term and short-term contracts and the risks of financing, given just the overall uncertainty right now.
Yeah. So, all right. So we're certain there's going to be more uncertainty. That's the best we can say for the moment. But look, Channelnomics, we're going to continue to monitor this. We will have an update on what partners think and what vendors think in March and April when the next round of our Partner Confidence Index comes out. Our annual channel forecast for North America and Europe is now available on our website, so please go check it out. And also, Channelnomics has done a lot of research with GTDC on the sentiment of partners and the value they get from distribution. We've released it for Asia Pacific. We're going to be releasing it for North America and soon for Europe. So please check those out as well. So if you like what we're doing here, please hit like, hit subscribe, tell your friends about it. Check out our other podcasts and great materials on Channelnomics. And please just keep coming back and seeing what we're doing. Until next time, I'm Larry Walsh.
I'm Amy Henderson.